This is Joel over here. So in this video, we will be solving a LeetCode numerical 242, which is called valid anagram over here. So given two strings s and t, return true if t is an anagram of s and false otherwise. So they have provided two strings with the variables s and t. If both are anagrams, we have to return true, else we have to return false. This is a simple LeetCode numerical, you can say, with strings. And before starting to code for this, let me explain what is anagram over here. Consider two words or else two strings. The condition of two strings should be they both should have same letters among them, and both the length of those words should be same, but one exception is letters can be interchanged with their positions. So example, in this test case, we have s is equal to anagram over here, which is ANAGRAM, and t is equal to some interchanged position of this anagram letters, you can see, which is NAGARAM. So in s and t, we have both the length of the words are same, but the letters got interchanged with their positions over here. So this is said to be anagram. But even let us say we have 2a in a word. So the frequency of the letters also matters over here. It should have only 2 letters of a in the t string also. So these conditions are mandatory for anagram over here. So in example 2, if we check, we have s is equal to rat and t is equal to car. You can see c got missed in rat as well as t got missed in car. So this is not a valid anagram, so we are just resulting false over here. So let's start to code for this. So as a first step, usually we used to approach brute force method, right? So basically picking a character from s string and then verifying whether this character exists in the t string or not. Keep on doing it, and later if everything existed over there, we will return true. But time complexity of here is order of n square. So to reduce this order of n square, definitely our next algorithm hash map is very useful for us. So hash map plays with a time complexity of order of n. So now what we will do over here, we will just take the string s and we will store each character to a hash map key and those count values in the value, and we will just pick again the t string over here, and we will just take each element or else each character from the string and we will just verify with the hash map, and if it exists we will return true, right? So this takes time complexity of order of n. But here even we are not gonna use time complexity of order of n, which is hash map. We are gonna reduce the time complexity of this by using an array over here, because we know, right, our English alphabet contains 26 letters. So if we create and count array of 26 spaces over there, our time complexity is constant over there, which is 26. So in hash map we have order of n, but if we use this count array method, we will get time complexity of 26, which is constant. So this is way much better compared to hash map, right? So that's the point, we are just moving to count array. So now I'll tell you the pseudocode or else algorithm of our program. So basically what I'm planning to do is I'm just gonna create an array called count, which has 26 zeros in it. Okay. And second step, I'm gonna take a first element in a s string and I'm gonna increment the count of count array in a's position. Let's say we have count array of 26 zeros over there, right? So first, which is 0th index, indicates the letter A. Second index indicates the letter C. So this keeps on going till Z. So now I'll just tell you what is the pseudocode or is the algorithm of our program over here. I'm gonna create an array called count with 26 spaces over there. Why 26? Because our English alphabet contains 26 letters over there. So our count array gonna have 26 zeros over there. So 0th index of our count array indicates the letter A, and first index of an array indicates the letter B, and second index of our array indicates the letter C. So this is gonna go till the letter Z. So now let's take the string S. So in our test case we have anagram, right? So now we are considering A. So if A exists, what I'm gonna do here is, in our count array, A's position we will have a value, right? In this case we have 0. I'm gonna increment those 0 to 1. So now if I take the second character, which is N, so if N, then I'm gonna go to the nth position of the count array and I'm gonna increment it by 1. So I'm gonna do it till the string gets end over here. And next again I'm gonna use a for loop to run this t string, and here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick the character from the t string, and in this case example we have N over here, right? So I'm gonna take N, and from the count array I'm gonna decrement the count of the N. So now in previous case we had 1. So next in T, once this N from the T string goes and it gets decrement, again it resets to 0. So I'm gonna do it till all the characters in the T string. So at last we will have a count array, right? So if this count array, if everything are 0, we can say that both are anagram. If not, then you can say that these two strings are not anagram over here. It's very simple. I'll just explain you more while writing the codes over here. So as a first step, what I'm gonna do is we will check with the length of the words. If both the strings are with the same length, then we will proceed. If not, we can say it over there itself, both the strings are not anagrams over there. So if string s dot length, if it is not equal to string t's length, then we can just simply return over here, which is false. So if string s and string t both have different length, then we can say both are not an anagram over here. If not, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an array. So int count is equal to new int of 26 spaces over here. Why 26? Because 26 are the letters we have in our English alphabet over here. So now let me create a for loop. You can go with a for each loop or else for loop. Let me go with a for each loop over here. So for char x. So in Java, string is a class, not a sequence of characters. So we have to convert this string to an array. So here we are gonna use a function over here, which is I'm gonna convert s string to array, right? So s dot to character array. So this function changes a string to a character array. Example, if we have anagram string, it changes to a comma n comma a comma g comma r comma a comma m. So it changes to an array over here. So next step, we have to find the a's position, I mean the letters position in the count array, right? So this can be done using ASCII values of letters. So let us consider int finding index is equal to x minus a. So why this x minus a? I'll just explain you now. Because let's say we have this string called anagram over here, right? And we are gonna use the for loop, and we took the first character called a. Now int index is equal to x minus a. So what happens over here is x is nothing but a in our case. So a minus character of a, which is 0 over here. So a minus a is 0. So as per our count array, our 0th index is the 8th position for our count. So we got an index, right? In case for b, let's see b minus a. So b minus a will be 1 because a's ASCII value is 97 over here, and b's ASCII value will be 98. So 98 minus 97 will be 1. That will be the first index of a count array. So by doing this, we can find the index value, and now we are going to increment those values in a count array, right? So that's simple. So count array of index plus plus, that's it. You're going to increment those values. So now it's the time for t string. So I'm going to use for each loop. As next step, you have to convert this t string to a character array. So t dot to, caps, char array, and int, we have to find the index, right? So index is equal to x minus a, and now count of index minus. For s string we are just doing increment, and for t string we are doing decrement over here. So at last we have a count array. If the count array is 0, like all the elements are 0, then it's anagram. If it's not 0, then it's not anagram, right? So here, to find this, we will use a boolean data type over here. So boolean, let me name it as result. So boolean result is equal to, let me keep it as true over here. You can keep it based on a logic, so I'm just keeping true over here, and instead of x is equal to, I should change it to x minus. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a for loop over here, for each loop over here. So for int nums colon count array, and as a first step I'm gonna check whether all the elements of the count array is 0 or not. So if nums is not equal to 0, which is if it's not 0, then we can make it as result is equal to false, else it will be true, right? And if we no need to check whole count array, if 1 is not equal to 0, you can conclude that the string is not an anagram over here. So better we can break the loop over here. So if we traverse whole the count array, it may take much more space complexity as well as time complexity over here. So we can break over there, because even if 1 is not equal to 0, you can say the string is not anagram over here, right? So now if it is not equal to 0, we are changing the result to false over here. Now we are gonna use again a if condition. If result is equal to true, then we are gonna say return true over here, else return false. That's it. So now let's run and check. Let me explain you once. So what I'm doing over here is, first I'm just checking whether both the string has same length or not. If both the string doesn't have a same length, we are just returning false over here. If it is same, then I'm just creating a count array with 26 spaces, because 26 is the total number of letters in our English alphabets. and then I'm gonna check, not check, I'm gonna increment those count values if the character exists over there. And next step, I'm gonna decrement if the array of those character exists in the count array. So at last we will have a count array, right? I'm gonna check whether all this count array is equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, we are just returning true. If not, we are just changing this boolean value to false, and then we are just returning false over here. So now let's run and check. Okay, for x. So here I didn't mention the data type over here. So now, okay, what is the other issue? S dot length is not equal to, okay, again equal to is missed over here. Some parenthesis issues. Okay, the parenthesis got misplaced over there. Yeah, our test case got passed. Let's submit and verify it. That's it, guys. Our submission got accepted, and this is called valid anagram numerical, which is 242 in LeetCode, and this is much way simple. And we used a new time complexity which is called constant time complexity over here instead of using hash map. And hope you guys understood, and let's meet on next numerical of a LeetCode. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.